Mr. Seifrit, how are you, buddy?
I'm great, Rob. How are you?
Excellent. So give me 1 second. Hey, Matt, first of all, I'm going to record this. Are you okay with me recording this call?
Absolutely.
All right. Hi, everybody. This is Rob McFadden of NoCollar Pro. I've got Matt Seifrit on the phone. He is part of my Maryland crew. He is an amazing leader. He is developing a great business, and he is participating in a mentorship program that I have kicked off for a 90-day period. And this mentorship program has two objectives. Number one, to help Matt rank up personally. And number two, help Matt become a leader by developing leaders. So Matt, you are agreeing to participate in this mentorship program for the next 90 days, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Awesome. And so yesterday we kicked it off with a call, and the very first task on that call was I asked everybody to set up what?
Set up an interview with you within the first 48 hours.
Set up an interview with me within the first 48 hours. So, my friend, you just accomplished your very first objective within the mentorship program. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So now, as we go through this process, what I did is I broke down the mentor program into two distinct tracks, if you will. And some of the upcoming mentor sessions we're going to be focusing on one track versus the other. But this initial track, what I did is I laid it out this initial call I laid out in two separate components. And one was, my objective is to help you guys rank advance and then help you become leaders by developing leaders. And so let's kind of talk through the first few tasks in how do these tasks help you advance in rank? So the first one was host three-way calls with me by midnight of Saturday. So you tell me, what do you think is the objective with you hosting three-way calls? Meaning you're the you are the inviter, and you're inviting three potential prospective independent business owners to get on a call with me as the subject matter expert. What do you feel is what can you learn about advancing in rank, or how will that process help you advance in rank?
Actually, I can think of a couple of different ways. First off, one is it's a good tool to introduce my prospect to a team that will have an impact on potentially achieving my goal of having him sign up as a independent business owner, which will grow my team. So that would be the first thing. The second thing it's going to do is it's going to help me to learn the three-way call process, so that as I begin to do three-way calls for my team, I'll be more effective in being able to help my enrolled IBOs already to achieve their level of success as well. So it's going to give me experience, and it's going to also introduce my new prospects to the team and to the process, and also which will hopefully help them to make a decision to join our team as well.
Right.
So that would probably be the two most important things that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Excellent. So you're asked to host three-way calls, but then also hold three-way calls. And the reason that I did it that way is because it's a short period of time, right? I gave you 3 days.
Right.
1 day is already gone. You have 2 more days to not only host three-way calls, but hold three-way calls. That means you're the invitee on one. I'm sorry. You're the inviter on one, but then you're the subject matter expert on the other. So, and the reason that that's important is because ultimately I need you to understand the mindset from both positions and to see what's working and what doesn't work in each of those roles. Now, keep in mind, I am also taking notes on all the three-way calls that I am doing with each of the members in the mentor program. And instead of saying, hey, Matt, you did this, horribly wrong, or you did this amazing, that was great. What I'm doing is I am going to socialize one list to everybody. And I'm not going to call any one specific out, except potentially maybe on some good things. I'll say, hey, Matt, you did this great. But I will do that in front of the group But specifically, the negatives that I come across, I want to put out as a group and say, hey, these are the things that I noticed. More than one of you did this. Or specifically, every one of you did this. And these are things that we can improve on, so that in the end, not only are we developing individually, but we're developing as a group. So you see how three-way calls, both being the host and the subject matter expert, would help you advance in rank if done efficiently and done with enough consistency.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you know, the other thing too that I noticed is it also builds. It helps add to the context of the relationship with your team. You know, no matter what level you're already engaged with them, if you follow what I'm saying. Because I guess I'm thinking the word camaraderie. You know what I mean? It's like there's a bond being built that I've experienced when I do a three-way call with my team. That it just helps to bond that connection between you and your team even more. You know, I don't know if I'm coming clear on what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
There's a lot of I guess subtle ways that it's going to have an effect without even really being more direct towards like somebody actually signing up and becoming a member. But it actually builds you know, structure and substance and stability and foundation within the team. You know, when you're supporting each other like that.
What you'll find is it raises the level of belief in your team, both as a junior member of the team or a newer member of the team. It raises their belief in you as a leader, but also you as a leader, it raises your level of belief in their commitment level. And so, yes, You're right. A bond is created the more three-way calls. The reason I fell in love with the Hawaii crew, the Legendary Life crew, is because I literally have done 40 three-way calls with their leader over there, with Marlon. And the guy, he's just a machine. But he said to his group while I was over there in Hawaii, he said, you know, originally I started doing three-way calls with Robert because I didn't have a belief. I didn't believe in myself. I was worn out. I was beat up. And I didn't know if I could do it again. And I needed somebody to speak with passion about the products and services because I wasn't there yet. So essentially what he was doing is he was living on borrowed belief. And then eventually, as he started to see the products work in his life, as he flew to Utah and met with the leaders of the company and the owners of the company, I mean, his belief level has just gone up and up and up. And so now he's no longer living on borrowed belief. In fact, he is the purveyor of belief to his team now. And his new people are living on his borrowed belief, and that's just the way that the process duplicates. So, in the interest of time, let's move to the next. The next one was I wanted you to pick 3 people from your team in which to mentor. Tell me what it is. Why is it that you would think I would need you or want you to pick 3 people to mentor in parallel with being mentored?
A couple of reasons come to mind. One is obviously we're creating a duplication process here. So what I'm being taught, I need to be able to learn how to pass on to my team. And as well as instead of waiting for me to go through the process and then teach them, you know, it'll speed up the process of team growth as they're coming along with me. Also, why I'm being mentored, it's fresh in my mind, and you know, and so I'll be able to you know, act accordingly. I think, you know, at least be able to pass it on better when I'm experiencing it myself, as opposed to waiting until after I've experienced it and then try to go back over it. You know what I mean? So I think that, you know, one touches the reason why I want to be mentoring people regardless, and then the other one touches why it's important to do it now, as opposed to waiting. You know, we're looking for, you know, exponential team growth, so we want to bring along as many people along with us now through this process as we can. But at the same time, it's fresh in my mind, so it'll be easier for me to be able to teach it, and then you know, to be able to teach it to them, and then them be able to teach it to their team as well. So I think that's 2 of the most key points that I can think of right off the top of my head.
Well, I would say that is stellar. In fact, I don't think I could have said it any better. In addition to that, the only thing would be is you are developing layers of leadership so that it's not all about you. remember, it's about who's next, who can I replace myself with, who is most prepared to step up to the plate and run calls and host meetings and coordinate events. And in order to do that, you are developing those leaders into the people that will ultimately replace you as the face of the team. And then they will be developing their people to replace them as the face of the team, so that as we all advance in rank, we're not working ourselves into more and more work. We're working ourselves out of work. Which is that not the goal of this profession, is to work less and make more money?
Absolutely.
It's time and financial freedom. It's how fast can I get out of the limelight? How fast can I get out of the way and train up the next layer of people? And unfortunately, people get stuck in that mode where they just want it to be all about them all the time, and that doesn't duplicate. So I appreciate you being astute on that. Now, finally, on this section, how to rank advance, is I want you to ask 10 people, who do they know in other markets that would potentially like to own their own business and, create financial and time security by using Wake Up Now as a vehicle. So tell me what you think the logic is behind me asking you, as part of the mentor program, why, or to find people who work in and live in areas outside of your local region.
Couple things. I mean, I'm already way focused on what to build globally. Part of my just to share with you, part of my why of and what I'm hoping to get out of my success is to be able to travel and to be able to meet new people in new countries and to be able to help them as well as people locally. A couple of reasons why. One is that what we're trying to do. There's a couple things that are going through my mind. So just right off the top of my head, one is obviously what we're trying to do is we're trying to build a list right now because we want to launch in those different countries. Obviously, there's huge opportunity, and there's going to be huge opportunity for a while. But the sooner we can get in there, the better. So we want to start creating our list now. And what happens is that people not necessarily always get this, but they want to help you out, but they don't necessarily going to make the charge for themselves, but they may be able to know people. So there's a lot that can come out of. I might be misunderstanding the question, right? I don't want to get too far away from what you're actually asking me directly.
Well, I think
so
specifically,
if I'm off course,
you're not. Mm-hmm. You're not off course at all. You're talking about building globally. There's right. That's absolutely one of the objectives. So there's two different objectives for the reason why I asked you to start to engage people about, living elsewhere. Because you hear all the time in the profession of relationship marketing, build locally but think globally, or think locally and build globally. No, it's build global. Gosh, it's build locally but think globally. Well,
right.
I'd like to actually take that a step beyond, and the reason I say that is because there's plenty of people in your backyard to build a business. You don't need to build globally. However, the opportunity is so great globally,
right.
And where we're opening so many countries right now that it makes no sense not to participate. Because think about it, if you ask 10 people over the next 2 days, hey, who do you know in Mexico, for example? I mean, we have a huge launch event in Mexico on July 12th.
Right.
And that launch event in Mexico is going to have thousands of people there. Don't you think that would make an impact if somebody was down in the Guadalajara area and wanted to swing by? I mean, in reality, just by asking 10 people if they know somebody who lives in Guadalajara, odds are you can get somebody at that event on July 12th. And you could have a whole new line started in your business by just asking people who they know in Guadalajara. And
I don't want to get off the call too much, but I think that's where the guy that I was talking to the other day, I never heard of the place before, but I'm pretty sure that's where he said he was from. So I'll be following up with him today.
Well, awesome. So here's two things that have come out of that. Number one, you have the potential value of getting a whole new line being built in a market that the company is growing, and there's no reason you shouldn't grow along with them. The second thing is it's a great segue to introduce people to Wake Up Now
Right.
and to your business without asking them directly, because you say,
Right.
a simple conversation could be, hey, buddy, is that Spanish you're speaking? It sounds like Spanish. I could be wrong, but, oh, it is Spanish? Hey, where are you from? Oh, you're from Mexico. Great. Do you know anybody that lives in Guadalajara? Oh, you do?
Right.
Awesome. And the reason I say that is because we're launching a business down there. We have a huge event coming up on the 12th of July, and I'm trying to introduce people who are savvy, business-minded people who want to generate a second income, who want to be in business for themselves and ultimately replace their primary income in Mexico. Oh, what is it? Tell me about it. Well, you know what? I respect your time as I respect mine. It takes about 20 minutes to kind of explain it to you. Now's not the time. Here we are in the grocery store. You've got ice cream in your cart. I'd be more than happy to set a time to talk to you about it. Go ahead and give me your information, and I'll follow up with you. And that way, there's strength in restraint. You're actually holding off, telling them, which in turn piques their curiosity, has you come from a position of strength, makes you not look desperate, all the things that you need to be as a leader. And now you've got a new prospect here locally by introducing a global opportunity to them.
Right.
So,
I love it.
Good. So keep that in mind, that is a primary outcome. That is certainly an outcome to that particular question and responsibility that I asked you to perform over the next couple of days.
Right.
So now,
also, just to go along with that, there's a statistic. Tell me if I'm wrong, but from what I saw, the statistic is 85% of the money generated through network marketing is done in out of the country. Does that sound?
Yeah, I don't know the exact statistic as far as the percentage, but the vast majority of revenue generated in the relationship marketing industry is generated overseas.
Right.
So
Sure.
absolutely.
Cool.
I just don't know the specific percentage. Now this this final section, Matt, is about developing you as a leader by helping you develop others as a leader. And so the first thing is I wanted you to identify 3 topics, 3 potential holes that we have as a company and as a team. Can be team-oriented or it could be company-oriented, it doesn't matter. But I want you to look for things that we are deficient in. And why would I ask you as a leader in a mentor program to identify problems that we have?
Well, one, it would bring my awareness up to my knowledge of the industry and what things work. Because it would let like if there's things that I know. For one, more than one mind is better. More than one mind, together can create a better outlook. In other words, if I have more people input on certain things, it may bring our attention or your attention to some things that you may not be aware of. That because you're focused on another area, it may bring your attention a level of awareness up as well, and things that can improve. Because we work together as a team, so we all want to better the team the best we can. That's also gonna it'll give you an understanding. It'll help me. Well, one, it'll help me stop and take a look at the system that we have in place, what we're doing. And then it'll also make me take a look at myself and see where I need insight, because, obviously if I'm identifying issues that I feel are lacking, it's because I'm feeling like I'm lacking that. You know what I mean? So I'm going to want to know more in those areas to help me better myself. I think that would probably be the key reason. I think there's something else that was on my mind as well, but I think that covers the majority of what's behind it.
So you're exactly correct. I want you to have an eye for issues, because I don't want you to be oblivious to things that potentially are wrong that need to be fixed. And so that's why I want you to identify 3 areas that we lack in as a team or as a company. But the fast follower to that is bullet number 2, which is I wanted you to pick 3. I wanted you to identify 3 bullets for each of those topics in how you would address or how you would fix that issue. So the objective with this exercise, to be a good leader, is you have to be solution oriented. Anybody can come to me with a problem or come to you with a problem. The issue is not, do I know how to identify problems? Everybody knows how to see a problem. What I need you to do is I need you to be solution minded and think, okay, that's an issue. How would I resolve it? That just makes you an effective leader, because you'll also be training your people to do the same thing. Hey, great. I'm glad that you're brand new. I know that, call hold times are an hour at customer service. Don't call and tell me that there's a problem. How do we fix it? Okay. Well, maybe we could shoot some videos and answer some of those questions ourselves so that people don't have to call customer service. There's a solution. Right? It's
right.
Maybe we could spend some time reading the policies and procedures as opposed to just calling and asking what is completely available. Or maybe we could just invest the time to listen to some of the videos that the company's already produced and put out, so that we don't have to call and ask them mundane questions that clog up the customer service portal. So anyway, I want you to be solution oriented as a leader. The next two things are both about you participating in not only leadership calls on Friday, which the next one is here in an hour. I want you to commit to dialing into those, but in addition to committing to dial into those leadership calls, I want you to also be inviting people to dial in with you. You should always get your team on all of those calls. And then the last thing in terms of actions that I need you to do as relates to calls is I need you to commit to host a Project Freedom 100 call or hangout once a week. Are you able to do that?
Absolutely. I can do both. I'm really excited about the hangout. But I'd be excited about both. I just like the opportunity to be able to invite people to come. I like to help everybody, don't get me wrong, but I just think how cool is it that you can say, hey, I'm going to be hosting a hangout, on this night, be on this call, or be on, dial up. So I'm excited. I'm real excited about doing that.
Okay, now multiply that times 10 different leaders. Now you've got 10 different leaders also promoting to their teams, and you now have people that are introduced to these because their leader is doing it, that they otherwise wouldn't dial in because they didn't have a personal connection with that call. Now they realize, oh, wait a second, there's great value here. I'm going to dial into the rest of these. And so that's where you start to get the synergy. Now, clearly you won't be able to host one every week because we have more people than we have slots. We only have we have 8 phone call slots and 3 hangout slots. So if you will send me your times that you can and would be willing to host one, I will create a calendar over the next 2 weeks so that we have always 2 weeks in advance that are built out, and we'll publish that, who's doing the call, and that way we have people driving, fresh people to those, and leaders are supporting them. Now, the final thing that I asked you to read was a book by Seth Godin. What was that book called?
Tribes.
The book is called Tribes. Now, that book taught me a couple of really good things about leadership. And number one is your team wants to be led. People inherently want a leader. They don't want to walk aimlessly to and fro trying to figure out how to do things. They want someone to teach them how to do it and how to do it right so they can minimize the mistakes, if not completely eliminate mistakes, in parts of the puzzle and parts of the process. So are you committed to purchasing and reading that book over the next 3 weeks?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. You will get great value out of it, I promise. Any parting thoughts as we wrap up, because we're now out of our time slot?
Nah, I just when we get some time to hook up, we can talk, and I'll let you know some good things that are going on with Gary and the team. And I actually did a conference call with them last night, and a new guy that's signing up Wednesday. So there's got some really great things going on. A lot of what we talked about today was taking place last night. It was just a really exciting moment for me, and I'm just looking to be able to duplicate that and take that and get some other people on board, some other leaders like Gary that I can work with. So I'm excited. It's a whole new, I'm reaching a new level, of success in this industry, and it's like, the more you go forward, the more fuel is being put on the fire, the more you want it. You know what I mean? It's entertaining. I love it.
That's great, brother. I really appreciate you as a leader and as a friend, and I look forward to seeing your success as we develop through this. We got a good 90-day run ahead of us on this mentor program. I know you'll be amazingly successful. You saw the email that I originally sent out, what I'm willing to do for those that complete this program.
Yep.
You know, it's all contingent on us advancing in rank, right? But when we do that, we start to have some more disposable income, and our needs are covered, and then at that point, there's just nothing stopping us, and we might as well go sip virgin daiquiris on a beach somewhere. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go.
So, all right, well, let me go ahead and wrap it up. Everybody, this is Rob McFadden, the NoCollar Pro. I just wanted to say thank you to Matt Seifrit, who is an up-and-coming, amazing leader out in the Baltimore area. I really look forward to seeing his continued success. We also look forward to connecting with you. If you're watching this video and you're looking for a leader, I would encourage you to reach out to Matt directly. I think he'd be a great person to work with. I think you'd have an amazing leader if you decided to work with Matt. So with that, Matt, thanks, buddy. We'll talk soon. We'll see you on the leadership call in an hour.
All right, Rob. Thanks a lot.
All right, brother. Be well.
Take care. Yep, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.